Hey broskies and girlskies, welcome to the second ever episode of Techie Tidbit Tuesday. I guess you could call this Techie Tidbit Tuesday 2. What a mouthful. Where you can get all of your tech related tidbits for the week. Anyways, I'm filming a bit earlier than normal. It's Monday for me right now, so hopefully I can upload this by Tuesday. But yeah, let's get started with the Nothing Phone 3A announcement. So because I'm filming this a bit earlier, the phone hasn't actually been revealed yet, so I can't really talk about it too much. It's set to reveal at like 5 a.m. local time for me on Tuesday, so they just missed this week's Techie Tidbit Tuesday. They'll definitely be in next week's though. But yeah, to recap what we know so far, there's these two models, a regular model and a fresh looking Pro, so that'll be pretty sick. What's not so sick though is the release of GPT 4.5, or at least that's what the general reception of it indicates. GPT 4.5 apparently is able to hold a conversation more naturally, and it theoretically should give you smarter responses, and the hallucination rate... Drop my mouse. And it theoretically should be able to give you smarter responses, and the hallucination rate has been cut down from 61.8% to 37.1%, which is a pretty decent jump. For now, it's only available for ChatGPT Pro users, but it will be rolling out to the Plus and Teams plans soon. However, people have been critical about this model so far since it's pretty expensive, $75 per million input tokens and $150 per million output tokens, which can stack up quickly if you're a business or a developer. And it needs a lot of computational resources. It's giant and expensive. In terms of performance, it's not that much better either, and it still messes up basic math and logic. For example, making the same old mistake of saying 9.11 is greater than 9.9. And OpenAI admitted that the model does not support multimodal stuff like voice mode, video, and screen sharing right now. It's not looking too good for OpenAI, and the success of this model is uncertain. You know which tech product success is not uncertain, however? The PlayStation 2. Today in tech history, March 4th, 2000, 25 years ago. Wow. That's a quarter of a century. The PlayStation 2 launched in Japan, and later launched in the rest of the world. But anyways, this was the start of something great. The PS2 is the world's most sold console ever, partially due to the fact that it could play DVDs at a reasonable price. Did you have a PS2 growing up? Let me know in the comments below. That's your techie throwback tidbit for the week, and now back to the video. Last Wednesday, February 26th, Instagram's algorithm experienced an unexpected glitch. People were apparently getting a bunch of gore and sensitive content, just disturbing stuff in general. The algorithm had a bit of a malfunction, and Meta issued an apology saying that the issue has been resolved. Me personally, I didn't get too many gory reels, but I did get a bunch of weird conspiracy videos, like saying that the moon landing was fake and whatnot. Pfft, there's no way anyone actually believes in the moon. It's obviously made of cheese. But yeah, if your Instagram reels went whack, let us know in the comments below. You know what else is whack? Skype is shutting down. Like, the Skype. For the younger audience, Skype is a software that lets you make video calls and send messages. It was basically another social media platform, kind of like Discord actually. Anyways, Microsoft owns it and is shutting it down on May 5th, 2025, so they can focus on Microsoft Teams. So if you still use Skype, you have until May 5th to transition to Microsoft Teams. May Skype rest in peace. Also, Samsung unveiled their new budget phones, the Samsung A56, A36, and A26. So these now support a bunch of cool AI features, and they come with a pretty cool design. And I'm gonna be so honest with you, I like these designs a lot better than what they're doing with the S series, because the S series is starting to look a little bland, whereas these are some really nice designs I can get behind. Like, I'd be pretty confident in saying that this is what the S26 might look like in the coming year. Finally, Apple has teased a new something in the air. This Monday, Tim Cook posted something on X teasing something in the air. Oh wow, I have no idea what this means. They've definitely never used this tagline before. I wonder what product this could be. But we'll find out this week. Okay, so update, it's actually Tuesday now, so I'm filming this the same day that I will be uploading this. And Apple released their new product for the week, I guess, because Tim Cook teased something in the air, and now two new products have came out, and it was not the MacBook Air that people were speculating, which is kind of weird because they used the same tagline that was used for the original MacBook Air presentation. But no, we have a new iPad Air and a new iPad, just like a base model. And I didn't even notice as they refreshed it. I didn't see much on YouTube about it. They didn't even make like a new video, I don't think, for these iPads. I just have a question, why? They added the M3 chip, but as far as I can tell, there's no upgrades other than that. Same colors, same design. They didn't even change the wallpaper. They did make a new Magic Keyboard for it, but the thing is, this isn't even the same one you can use with the iPad Pro. This is a completely different one. This is a completely different Magic Keyboard for iPad Air. The iPad Pro still has its own keyboard that's just for the iPad Pro. This will be, for the average consumer, about as confusing as the Apple Pencils a while back. Anyways, this keyboard is compatible for all the iPad Airs released since 2020, but I don't know why it doesn't work with the older iPad Pros, since those have the same design as the new ones too. Oh wait, they made a weird little camera cutout for it so you know it's the iPad Air. Huh. And it's a bit cheaper than the old one too, so might actually pick this one up, but there's no black option, which is a bit sad. But it looks like a cool keyboard. The iPad though just feels underwhelming. Like, why can't they just release the keyboard by itself? The iPad Air M2, the one I have right here actually, this just came out in May of last year. This hasn't even been a year old. And the iPad Air 4th generation was on sale for 2 years before the iPad Air M1 came along. And then the iPad Air M1 was on sale for 2 years until 2024 when the iPad Air M2 came out. And now there's an M3 iPad and it came out less than a year after the M2. It doesn't make sense. And the new iPad, the regular one, went from the A14 chip to the A16 chip from the iPhone 14. And again, no new colors, no new wallpaper. Like, yeah, it's a decent jump in performance, but it's been over 2 years since the release of a 10th gen iPad. Oh, and they did bump up the iPad storage to 128 gigs on the base, finally, without price increase, I don't think. So that's pretty good. And also, they're not calling it the 11th gen, they're calling it the iPad A16, which I guess goes with the naming scheme of them calling every iPad by their chip instead of their generation now. But it just feels pointless. Like, why? Like, isn't Apple banking all their hopes on Apple Intelligence? So why would you not give the cheap iPad the A17 at least, or like the A17 Pro, or even like just a regular A18? Because like, just use the same formula you use for the iPhone 16e, for the iPhone SE. Just use the iPad 10th gen's design and then slap in the newest chip, call it a day. And that would have Apple Intelligence, it would push more people to Apple Intelligence. It doesn't make sense. But to be fair, the average person isn't going to care about Apple Intelligence, so the A16 is a decent performance upgrade, and the 128 gigs of base storage is nice. Finally, the 64 tier is gone for good, but again, the iPad Air M3 just doesn't seem to have a point, because the iPad Air M2 does all the things the iPad Air M3 can do. It uses the same keyboard, and it can do all the Apple Intelligence features. Like, the M3 has no benefit over the M2, unless during WWDC, they're gonna pull a surprise on us and they're gonna be like, oh, introducing Apple Intelligence 2.0, but it only works on the M3 and newer. So that might be why. But yeah, that's the new iPad Air and the new iPad A16. I was gonna name this Techie Tidbit Tuesday after the Instagram Reels incident, but I think I'm gonna name it after these iPads now, because it's just, why? Oh, also, SpaceX Starship update. It didn't launch, it's been delayed, and it was supposed to launch while I was filming this video actually. Whoopsies, I knocked over the Febreze. Tell you guys why I have Febreze here later. Anyways, it was supposed to launch while I was filming this video actually, but it got scrubbed for reasons. So it's gonna be launching probably sometime later this week, or maybe even next week, but we don't know. All we know is that it's not launching today, Monday, March 3rd. Very sad. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this episode of Techie Tidbit Tuesday. If there's a topic you want me to cover, then comment that down below. And if you like this episode, consider liking and subscribing. Alright, that's it for this video. Be awesome and stay techie. Bye! Oh, I also have to tell you why I have Febreze here. Because I went home for the weekend and I came back and there is a giant stain on my floor. Right underneath my desk. Hold on, let's see if I can move my chair. Basically, all of this it's just got this really disgusting smell. It's probably like sewer water or something. I think it's a burst pipe because our neighbor's shower is right over here and they've been hearing weird noises. And I've been getting all this water, this big puddle on my carpet and on my desk. Like, it stinks to work here, like it literally stinks. And I tried to use paper to like mark out the outline just to see if I can track like how much it's growing, but that kind of fell apart because the paper got strewn everywhere. But there's a leak somewhere, a bit cheesed about that. So that's why I have Febreze here, and I gave a Febreze to my roommate as well. And we also have this Febreze spray because it is stanky in here right now. Okay, that's actually it now. Bye! There's a stain on my carpet right now.
And we just
my roommate just left,
so
but I was gonna film Techie Tidbit Tuesday, but the rocket is launching.
Counting down.
Looks like the ship is not gonna be
And it's
launching
not
today.
something we can change with small configs,
That's
tweaks.
rough.
So we are gonna offload our prop and then try.
There's something in the air at my dorm too, because I think some water leaked on the carpet, and it stinks. Oh, it's pungent. So I'm spraying this stuff. It ain't doing anything. There's something in the air. There's something in the air, and it doesn't smell good.